Hi, fourth grade. Today we will be reading the play Treasure Island. It's based on the classic novel by Robert Louis Stevenson. Let's take a look at the first page. It says, Read a play. The genre. A play is a story that actors can perform on a stage. The actors pretend to be the characters in the story. Elements of drama. The parts of the play are called scenes. Each scene describes the setting. Stage directions can tell the characters how to talk, act, or move. The words the characters say are called the dialogue. Let's take a look at the example. Here we see the scene. It says scene 1, and then it gives us the setting and describes it. Dialogue is written next to the character's name. So Mrs. Hawkins has these lines right here. And then the stage directions finally are next to the dialogue in parentheses. Let's take a look at the characters and then we will begin to listen to the story.
Treasure Island, based on the novel by Robert Louis Stevenson, adapted by Mark Falstein, illustrated by Tim Foley.
Characters. Narrator. Mrs. Hawkins, owner of the Admiral Benbow Inn. Jim Hawkins, Mrs. Hawkins' 14-year-old son. Dr. Livesey, a country doctor. Billy Bones, a retired sailor, once a pirate. Squire Trelawney, a rich landowner. Captain Smollett, captain of the ship Hispaniola. Long John Silver, a sea cook, secretly a pirate. Other pirates. Ben Gunn, once a pirate.
So we'll set the purpose. We're going to find out about a discovery that leads to adventure.
Scene 1. Setting. The play begins in a small coastal town in England, around 1740. The Admiral Benbow Inn, a common gathering place among sailors. Billy Bones, looking ill, lies on a couch. Mrs. Hawkins tends to him. Jim and Dr. Livesey enter. Jim talks to Dr. Livesey, but points to Billy.
He's been here 8 months. Billy never gave us any trouble.
Mrs. Hawkins.
Dr. Livesey, thank goodness you've come.
Livesey. Let's have a look at him. Young Jim said that a blind man came looking for Billy. Mrs. Hawkins.
Yes, he gave him this paper. Billy had a fit when he saw it. Then he collapsed.
Livesey looks at the paper and gasps. The black spot. That's a pirate sign. Jim.
Pirates?
Billy. Weak.
Jim? Is that you?
Jim.
Yes, Billy. And Dr. Livesey's here.
Billy.
Jim, Flint's crew is coming for me. The packet is in my sea chest. Don't let them get it.
Billy shudders and lies still. Dr. Livesey examines him. Livesey. He's dead. Frightened to death, most likely. His crimes have caught up with him if he sailed with Captain Flint. They were the most bloodthirsty pirates on the seas. Mrs. Hawkins, frightened.
And they're coming here.
Lights fade, showing that time is passing. Narrator. That night, pirates did come to the inn. They found Billy's sea chest, but Jim had hidden the packet. The next day, Dr. Livesey returned with Squire Trelawney. Lights on. Jim, Dr. Livesey, and Squire Trelawney sit at a table. Jim unwraps a packet. Trelawney.
You've done a man's job, Jim. Let's see what Captain Flint's men were looking for.
Jim unfolds a map. They stare at it. Livesey. It's a map of an island. Jim, pointing.
Look, it shows a treasure here.
Trelawney.
This must be Flint's map.
Livesey. You're a brave lad, Jim. Those pirates would have done anything to get this. Trelawney.
Captain Flint's treasure. There's a fortune in gold and jewels, and we have the map.
Livesey. What should we do with it? Trelawney.
Do? Why, I'll hire a ship. Then we're bound for Treasure Island. Jim, you and your mother will be rich.
Jim.
Us? Rich?
Trelawney.
Why, certainly. You're sailing with us, aren't you?
Before we move on, let's think about an important discovery the characters make in scene 1. And then we're going to also think about the relationship between Jim and Livesey, and we'll think about how we know their relationship is what it is. So think about and make a prediction. What do you think will happen on the journey to Treasure Island?
Scene 2. Setting. Aboard the ship Hispaniola, Jim, Dr. Livesey, Squire Trelawney, and Captain Smollett are in the captain's cabin. A large barrel sits on the deck. Smollett.
We'll reach the island tomorrow.
Jim.
And then we'll be rich.
Livesey. We've been lucky. The sea has been calm, and the crew has been lively. Trelawney.
We can thank Long John Silver for finding the crew. It's a good thing I found him. He's only a cook, but those tough sailors respect him.
Jim.
He tells interesting stories, too.
Smollett. Worried.
Yes, he favors you.
Livesey. Jim, would you fetch me an apple? Jim.
Aye, aye, Doctor.
Jim exits the cabin and walks to the barrel. He reaches into the barrel but can't reach the apples. He climbs in, just as Long John Silver and other pirates enter. Silver has a wooden leg. A parrot perches on his shoulder. Silver talks quietly to pirates.
No, it was Flint. He was captain. I was second in command. If I knew where the treasure was buried, I'd be dead like old Ben Gunn.
First pirate.
I still say we should kill them and take the map.
Silver.
And who will bring the ship home? None of us can set a course. No, we should let them dig up the treasure. When we're halfway home, then we'll strike.
Second pirate.
Aye, and then we'll live like kings.
Pirates exit laughing. Jim climbs out of the barrel and runs to the cabin. Jim, excited.
They're pirates.
Smollett.
Who?
Jim.
The crew. I heard them talking. Silver is their leader. They plan to seize the ship and steal the treasure.
Trelawney, stunned.
This is my fault. I never should have told anyone we were after treasure.
Livesey. That doesn't matter now. We'll have to fight them. Smollett looks at the treasure map.
Gentlemen, I have a plan. The map shows a fort on the island. I'll give the crew some free time on shore. They can take a rowboat. Then we'll go ashore and occupy the fort.
Lights fade. Narrator. Jim had his own plan. He hid in the rowboat under a piece of sailcloth. The pirates rowed to the island, eager for treasure. As soon as they touched land, Jim jumped out of the rowboat.
Before we move on, think about the characters. What does Jim find out about the crew on the journey to Treasure Island? And how does this change him? And then the elements of drama, we're thinking about where scene 2 takes place and how we know. Let's predict if there is treasure, who will get it, and how.
Scene 3. Setting. The island. Sand and palm trees. Jim runs across the stage. Silver, from off stage.
Jim! Jim, come back!
Jim.
No chance of that, you pirate.
The pirates rush on stage, followed by Silver. First pirate.
I'll fetch him back.
Silver.
Don't hurt him.
Jim, to himself.
I thought he was my friend. I'll never trust him again.
The pirates chase Jim. Jim runs off stage, followed by the pirates. Jim enters from off stage, alone and out of breath.
I think I've lost them.
Hopeless.
I was foolish. Why didn't I stay with my friends?
Points upstage.
There's a cave. I'll hide there.
Jim goes into the cave. Ben Gunn enters the cave from off stage. Jim and Ben, surprised.
Oh!
Ben.
Are you real, boy? Who are you?
Jim.
I'm Jim Hawkins. Who are you?
Ben.
I'm Ben Gunn. For 3 years, I've been alone here.
Jim.
Were you shipwrecked?
Ben.
No, I was marooned. Left here to die. I stayed alive by trapping wild goats. What I wouldn't give for a bit of toasted cheese.
Grabs Jim's arm.
Tell me true, boy. Is that Flint's ship out there?
Jim.
No, Flint's dead. Some of his crew are on board, though. They're after Flint's treasure.
Ben.
They won't find it.
Suddenly scared.
I hope they don't find me.
Jim.
Ben, I have friends here. They are at the fort now. Can we get to the fort without being seen?
Ben.
Flint's fort? I know a secret path. Come, Jim.
Lights fade. Narrator. Ben led Jim to the fort. That night, the pirates attacked the fort. Jim slipped away. But when he returned, the pirates were in control of the fort, and his friends were gone. The pirates captured Jim. Lights on. Another part of the island. Silver holds the map with one hand. With the other hand, he holds Jim by the elbow. Nearby, pirates are digging. Silver.
Ah, Jim. Your friends became as gentle as lambs when they thought I had you. The doctor traded the map for your safety. Well, I didn't have you then, but I do now.
To the pirates.
Dig, you lazy dogs.
Second pirate.
Here, we've struck something.
First pirate.
It's a treasure chest.
Silver.
Haul it up.
Pirates pull up the treasure chest. Silver knocks back the lid. They stare inside. First pirate.
2 gold coins? That's Flint's treasure? 2 coins?
Silver.
There must be a mistake.
Second pirate.
We trusted you. That was our mistake.
Jim breaks free and runs off stage. Lights fade. Sound of pirates fighting. When the lights come back on, Squire Trelawney, Dr. Livesey, Captain Smollett, and Ben Gunn are waiting by a rowboat. They are carrying heavy sacks. Jim enters. Trelawney.
Jim! Jim, you're safe.
Jim.
Hurry, they'll be after me.
They all climb into the boat. Livesey. When Ben told us he had the treasure, I knew the map was useless. Ben holds up a sack.
I hid it in my cave, but how could I spend it here?
Jim.
You can buy all the toasted cheese you want now.
Trelawney.
And those pirates will be stuck here.
Smollett.
To the ship now! Row!
Jim.
Aye, aye, Captain.
So in the end, who gets the treasure and how? And how does Jim's relationship with Ben change? I hope you enjoyed our play.